And welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. I was going to cut this off, but I realized you guys might actually want to see the redesign process here. So I'll redesign this and then I will get it into orbit one way or another. So the problems with this design were several. It seemed to have just to be a little too heavy. There's not enough power in this stage here. So, which means we need more power out of this stage here. The only way I know of to do that is to add more fuel to it. It's either more fuel or more engines. I'm going to go with the more fuel approach just because it seems to me to be the better way to do this. So I still have confidence in this upper design here. That's my one thing. I think these added too much mass, so I'm gonna yank them off. Just put these inline stabilizers back on, and we'll see if it flies any. I'll see if it flies any differently without these, and I'll let you know the results of that experiment. But my instinct says that mass is more important than aerodynamics in this release. Let me think, is there any other tweaks I wanted to make to this? Mass is obviously an issue as well, but I do want to make sure I have the battery power to transmit. I'd hate to get all the way to the moon and not have the batteries to actually send the signal back to Kerbin. So we'll do without that, but we will remove these two top batteries. They're just extraneous silliness. Pull this a little lower, only put 2 of them on though. Just like the original plan. Oh, come on, get in there. There we go. 2 of those. All action groups all need to be reset. Nope, they're good. Good stuff. Okay, I think this thing's ready to go. It says here in fine print. All right, heading to the launch pad. I will see you guys in orbit with any luck. Bye for now. And welcome back. Just completing my orbital burn, and we're almost golden. A little higher, a little higher. We almost had a disaster there, but we're high enough that it's not an issue. So that was not bad. A little rougher of a flight than I would have liked. Definitely not as easy of an orbital insertion as I would have liked, and of course the timing of my orbit could not have been worse from the looks of things, because it looks like the optimal time for a lunar push is almost all the way around an entire orbit, which is unfortunate for my power situation. But I guess you can't argue with timing. Let's see, how close can we get it? We can get into a nice tight orbit if we wait almost the entire orbit. Let's see, can we get closer? Is that getting us closer or further? 300. So if we come in faster, 180, 218. Now we're getting further away again. Is that because of the angle of our orbit, or is it just as good as it's going to get because of the bad timing of our launch? Okay. That's about as close as we're going to get from that window. Oh, that's a encounter 5 hour. Oh dear. Just 1 second. I apparently still have the baby monitor down here. Be right back. My apologies for the interruption. Okay, so let's not design one that's going to have us actually hitting the moon, although that's a really... Let's see, if we keep going that way, we're increasing the time. If we go this way, we decrease that is a good orbit. If we're going to do it, this is the way we want to come in, right there. So there's our departure window, 26 minutes from now. And there's, we're right on the bloody departure angle already. Man, if I had just been a little faster on getting into orbit, it's possible we would have been able to send this thing up exactly as is. So I didn't really have to tweak the design at all. Pretty much what you saw was what you got. The only change I made is I took the big heavy this is the Mark III, not the Mark II. I took the big spinning metal stabilizers off of the boosters, and it made it a lot more stable. So I'll take it. I don't know why that's the case. I'm sure it has something to do with rocket science. Just a little tweak there. And away we go. 20 minutes to mark. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds to burn. And since we don't want to waste fuel, we're going to do this as close to burn time as possible. And we're going to do this without going into the map view, because it's a lot more fun for you guys to see the burn. It's a long burn. Okay, here we go. Put yourselves on the mark. Definitely going to have a lot more fuel after we get to the moon. These things really are capable of overheating. Interesting. And still going. We want to use less than 50% of our fuel for this if we can. Too far off our mark, which we are. 4 seconds. 3, 2. Periapsis. And that's the slow periapsis. And that's the fast. Whoa, okay, that's really close. In fact, that's kind of scary close. Let's burn past. Come on, what's going on here? Come on, we're almost there. Where'd that marker go? Oh. Well, I guess if we're not careful, we're going to hit the moon. And there's our mark. Apparently it wants us to retrograde now, which makes sense. I should have taken it when I taken what I had there. That was stupid of me. I don't think this marker makes much sense anymore, does it? Alright, we won't burn for this anymore. We'll burn here for us. And burn ASAP. Wow, okay, that's gonna do me no good at all. Okay. What we really need to do is just retrograde ever so slightly. Or we just fly straight at the moon. Okay. I really botched that. Okay, well, let's see what happens as we come in. We're apparently in a lunar landing grid because there's no lunar periapsis. So quick saving here so that we have a chance to fix things if things go horribly, horribly wrong. And let's see what happens as we come up on the moon. But we are going to be going bloody fast. That was a little faster than I would have liked. Well, we're coming in on the light side, which is cool. I suppose I could just try a full retro burn at the planet and see if it gives me... Well, let's get ourselves in nice and close and let's see what happens. Because we can always do this again thanks to the magic of quick save. This is the learning component. I mean, this is not the way you want to come at the moon. Let me tell you right now, this is not the way to do it. But we do want to get a lot lower before we waste too much fuel. So there's 100,000, 90,000, and we reorient into our landing orientation, and we are going really fast. So let's burn off some of the speed here, and see how we do. Might actually work. This might get less fuel. That's our maximum burn. Go full retro. Absolutely committed to the landing orientation here. Well, this definitely isn't the optimal landing method, but this stage here has full fuel, and we are definitely out of our critical orbital speed here. In fact, that doesn't look too bad at all. A nice solid lunar apoapsis. We'll just put a light burn on it. That'll be enough to arrest our speed of drop. Bring it down ever so slowly. We want to get as close to the planet as possible before we burn off too much fuel, because since there's no atmosphere, there's no aero braking. So the speed we're going when we reach the ground is the speed that we are going when we reach the ground. As simple as that. Okay, let's see, how much do we have? 29 kilometers. Accelerating, we are decelerating. Let's give it a little more deceleration. We're going down at 300 meters per second and dropping. We have 160 whatever's of fuel, 100 in this stage. Kick it off and hope that this little bottom stage here can do the job. Lots of RCS fuel left. That went really well. Okay. Only 15 kilometers to go. We better take our speed down a little more here. That, wait, that can't be that stage. Right, no it can be, because taking that off, and this is it. Let's drop that landing gear. I said drop at the landing gear. There we are. ,9,000 meters and dropping. under 80 meters per second. Coming down real nice. Lots of fuel. Lots of fuel. Come on, don't watch this. Okay, we're going to stop there. Use a little RCS. Oop, wrong button. Gears stay down. Alright, and a little more gas. I think we're a little closer to the ground than I think, because I don't know what the elevation is here, now that I think about it. Alright, and we'll cut it as soon as we hit 10. There we are. Coming down nice and slow. Just arrest it. No faster. There we are. No, no, no. No, no. Wrong button. Wrong button. I wish we had landed on a flat part of the moon. Actually, that's not too bad as far as surfaces go. Just a little bit more gas. Still got half a tank left. This is going to be... I have faith that this is going to be a successful landing. Maybe even more successful than some of my previous attempts. Alright. Deceleration. Okay, looking good. Looking good. We're slowing down. Said those legs are like paper, so we definitely don't want to speed up any more than necessary. In fact, if we keep slowing down... Alright, come on. Only 5 meters a second now. Stable at 4.5. Oh my god, this is so tense. Okay, no, we're moving in. This is not as flat as I'd hoped. There's my shadow. Just don't topple when you hit the ground. Ship. Oh no, 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 don't. Oh, shoot. Well, you know what, guys? As long as it doesn't pick up too much speed there, we should be all right. That was... Considering we just landed on the side of a frigging mountain, I would determine that that was a marginally successful landing. Not a perfect landing, and I don't want to deploy I really don't want to do anything until it finishes rolling wherever it's rolling. Okay, well, the monopropellant is keeping this thing probably from totally going nuts and rolling like a bat out of hell. So we'll just let that finish what it's doing. I think it's going to come to rest here in just a minute, but maybe we'll turn the SAS off and see what happens. Man, that lunar surface is pretty slippery for it to roll like this. Stay. Alright, doesn't have a lot of momentum left. Man. No, 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 no. just can't believe this thing just keeps going like this. Is this something to do with the gear? Let's try retracting the landing gear here and see if that helps at all. Come on, just lock us down, make us nice and stable. Stop the roll. Stop the roll. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. I think... Have we finally reached a resting place? I think we have. Not. And the gear is making it roll worse than it was before. Alright, just come on, just stop rolling. Dang it. Well, let's see what happens if I extend one of these comm units here. Ha! There we go. Comm unit did the job. Alright, let's do some science. Confirmed the moon lacks a breathable atmosphere. How are we supposed to breathe here? Send that home. Nice. Reset that experiment. Barometer. Gee, no pressure? No temperature? Absolute zero? What a surprise. Send that information home. Reset that. And seismic scan. Meteor impacts distant on the reflecting along the interior of the moon. Send that monster home. And guys, this probe can be considered 100% successful. Because we're here, we just got a massive quantity of science for a successful landing. It's actually 100% intact, it's just not upright. So honestly, that's a bloody win in my books. I mean, it's just going to sit here on the moon as a legacy structure, but it made it. It landed, not a single explosion, not a single thing out of place. I'm pretty thrilled. That was awesome. I didn't actually think that that rocket was going to pull it off with that really insane trajectory it was following. But, hey, live and learn. I wouldn't want to do that with a manned expedition, that's for sure. But with this little guy, that worked really well. The only thing I'm not sure about at this stage is what science experiments I should be looking at doing next. I think it might actually be a Lunar Goo return mission, which would be the next logical step, would be bringing something back from orbit around the moon successfully. Reset that experiment. So let's just make sure nothing from that. Got all that. Got all that. That's it. The Lunar Lander Mark III was an absolute and utter success. So let's close up these comm units and see what happens. Where do we want to go today? This way. We want to go this way. Heh, just enough fuel to cause trouble. Might almost be to the point where it actually won't move. There we are. RCS off, SAS off. Heh, of course I left it stable and then I decided to get it going again. Away we go! Where she stops, nobody knows. Well, we're at the bottom of one of the craters. What crater are we in? Just a random time. This is a little crater, too. Apparently there's a clipping plane here. Well, I think that is where it's going to stop. Landing gear out. Nope. It's amazing how far we could go on the... It's pretty funny. Well, I think there's only one way to stop this thing rolling. And that's to extend that. Yep, that did it. All right, good enough. Track that. Wow, no, it just won't. And it's going to swing around and boom, boom, boom. All right, we'll leave those extended. But this beastie has served its purpose beautifully. And we'll call this a wrap. Let's head back to the Space Center and say goodbye to the Mooner. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, we really should do one thing. Now, there's a way of reclassing these things. And this really should be classed as a lander. I just don't know how to do that. Information. That's information about the moon. I want information about the ship. There we are. I want to call it a lander. Maybe I have to do that in tracking station. Let's go to the tracking station and see. Oh. All right. Space Center and tracking station and lunar lander. We want to call this a classification. Crew, no crew. We want to reclass it as a... Whoop. Okay, so that's not how you reclass something. I want to figure this out. This is something, a little detail. Let's see. I guess maybe it's the probe core. Rename vessel. Aha! There it is. It is now a lander. It is now the Luna Lander Mark III. Just give it a nice solid name, but it will be officially a lander in our world map. Okay, let's go check out the Space Center and see how we did for technology here, because that was a lot of science we just transmitted back. I think it's going to be enough for at least 180, yeah. 360. Might even be enough for 3. Well, let's see what we got here. The other option is to get our first EVA report. I don't know how much science we get for that, though. Landing technology. Oh, 2-man lander can. That is your Apollo Space Program lander. I'm sure of it. That's what that's intended for. Cool. Radial parachutes, beautiful. Illuminators. Telus mobility enhancer, hilarious. Yeah, Mark 1 command pod, now with 100% more. Oh, hold on. Advanced, includes spacesuits. Okay, interesting. So the spacesuits and the quality pods or sorry, the suits and the pods are in separate trees now. That's cool. Kind of terrifying. Ooh, battery pack, inline battery packs. Exciting. New control systems. Oh, that's the spinning separation. Yeah. Probidyne, another fuel tank. Monopropellant tanks. Are there any new experiments? What tree are the experiments in? Over here. So I'm not seeing any new experiments so far. Huh, wonder what that is. That looks like jet flight of some sort. Air radial air intakes, protective. Ooh, a protective nose actually designed to fit the big rocket. I'm sure that'll be an improvement over the current ones I'm using. New decouplers, stack decouplers, useful. No radial decouplers yet, but I guess that's a little further down the road. Rockets with alternators, and the big keel hull rockets and some new kinds of fuel tanks. I'm going to think on this. I'm not going to make these decisions today, but that's a pretty solid set of science I've obtained. So, with that said, thank you all very, very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.